The first speaker is in Bellavance. Because of the time factor, I'm going to give a very brief bio, but the detailed one is in the pack. Anne is the president of Women's Federation for World Peace Australia, as well as Oceania and Southeast Asia. Anne is a seasoned leader with 40 plus years in the not-for-profit sector across Australia, the US, and Canada. She champions a culture of heart rooted in Women's Federation for World Peace values, focusing on women's empowerment, community development, and global peace. With a strong academic background in science and education, Anne drives transformative initiatives in leadership, values education, intercultural understanding, emphasizing sustainable impact through development projects in the Pacific Islands. Passionate about mentoring, she collaborates with diverse communities to advance leadership, family values, and environmental stewardship. Anne's gratitude fuels her work, while her personal joys include family kayaking and Australia's natural beauty. So her speech is going to focus on Cornerstone for Happiness. Please welcome Anne.
So you may wonder why this white person up here is talking about multicultural marriages. Actually, the other white guy, who's my partner there, we are an intercultural couple. He's Canadian, but he's French. I'm English, Scottish. And if you know anything about the English and the French, they actually don't like each other too much, historically. And our 4 sons, we have 4 intercultural daughters-in-law. One's from Guyana, one is Japanese, Jewish, one is Vietnamese, and the last is Swiss-Italian. So we have a little United Nations in our family. So I'm going to share with you Women's Federation for World Peace International's Cornerstone for Happiness. It's actually a four-part series for healthy marriage and family relations. And this one is the 4th presentation, focusing on the real peace work which is between couples. Pivotal to life is the ability to communicate and negotiate, listen and speak. It can be helpful to go over some basic conversation skills to see where we can improve in our relationships. The reality is that we tend to be more careful in relationships that aren't close at heart to us with our friends. Other people don't hurt or frustrate as much, and it's often easier to be kind, patient, understanding with a friend than with our close family members. The emotional stakes and expectations are higher with family members and can get in the way of good listening and effective communication. So much of what we learned about communication occurred in our families of origin. I'd like you now to pair share with the person on your left and answer these questions. So because my time's short, usually this is an interactive seminar, so you have 1 minute to talk about what was your experience of being listened to as a child and how has that influenced you today. So to the person on your left, please. do the sharing bit. Okay, I'm going to bring you back. Normally, we would ask for feedback, and I love the fact you want to keep talking. So these are some really good questions during the break to have much more deep discussions. So thank you for honestly sharing with each other. We have another one of these, so if you're on your own, I really suggest you sit with somebody. And the next sharing, you're going to have to talk to somebody different. Okay? So based on your own experiences, we can see how important it is to be really listened to. Here is a beautiful quote by a Christian author, David Alsberg, about the value of being a good listener. In other words, being listened to and being heard by another person feels like love to most of us. It's that important. Since it's obvious that listening well is a learned skill that we could all improve upon, let's go over a few simple comments that we can incorporate into our daily communications to help our loved ones really feel heard. Such as, so what you're saying is, let me see if I have this right. Is that what you mean? Listen to their responses carefully and don't interrupt. Remember to sometimes ask, is there anything else? Why ask, is there anything else? Because there's always something else. Something deeper, something just under the surface. And those things tend to be the more important points. The most important thing we can do as listeners is to listen for understanding. This is the kind of listening that helps people feel heard and affirmed. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos of conversations, a little old, but it's very powerful. Conversation between a couple who aren't using any skills first.
Just might help you with the volume sound.
I have a feeling this is not going to come on. Let's hope. Maybe if I do this.
No,
Yeah, I think
it should go through HDMI.
All right, we'll see.
You don't love me. You don't act like you love me. I mean, there's no intimacy, there's no touching. I don't give any attention. I get nothing from you anymore. What's the problem? What's really going on?
Boy, I love you, boy.
You seeing somebody else? What?
You just jealous. Ever since
Jealous?
the baby's gotten here, ever since the baby's gotten here, it's all, you think it's all about you. You know, and it's not about you. It's not, I mean,
I'm talking about me right now. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what I need.
You love me, then
I'm
you
trying to
do what
get
it
you to
takes.
understand that I need something from you. I'm not talking about you right now. You didn't even bring this up. I'm the one that brought this up. I have issues. I have needs. I have wants.
It's not about you.
Right now,
It's not about you.
Well, it's not about you either.
That's the problem. You're selfish, and you don't care about anybody. You don't care about me. You don't care about, especially the baby.
I work all day, come home, I just want a little attention, a little love. What can you give me?
Me?
All I get is excuses all the time about why you can't do this, why you can't do that.
Me?
Why can't you just give me what I need?
Sound familiar? I think all of us have done that. Too often, too often. All right, now let's listen to them again, incorporating some skill listening and skill speaking.
You know, babe, you're looking really, really good to me. beautiful. I really think you are. But lately, I have not been feeling loved. I haven't been feeling as though I'm getting the amount of attention that I need from you. I kind of feel that you don't care for me anymore. I don't feel desirable, needed, or even wanted.
So you're not feeling like you're getting the attention that you need. And we don't have that time that we once had, and you miss it. And it's funny that you should say that, because I'm feeling a little bit like that myself. You know, since this baby's gone, I mean, I just feel like I'm just stretched in so many different ways, and it's really hard. You know, trying to be a mom and trying to maintain this relationship and keep us happy and everything. So I've been really kind of feeling the same way.
So you're not feeling wanted or desired, and you're feeling tired a lot?
Yeah, not very attractive.
Not attractive and undesirable too?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you notice that is different? The tone, sure, but what else?
Listening, they're repeating back.
They're repeating back. So the first one was all about you do this. The second one was about I'm feeling. And then the other person repeating back to see if they have heard it right. Do you notice? So different. I'm feeling, then it's not accusing, and repeating back to see if they fully understand. So powerful. So we've talked a little about listening. Now let's talk about talking. Sometimes the way we talk can block good communication. We have all acquired a few bad habits along the way, so it can be helpful to reflect on which ones we're guilty of. Here are a few to look out for. The first bad communication habit is preaching. We usually do this when we know best and tell our partner or children that what they should do or feel. If we're not careful, and most often, we come across as condescending and disrespectful. The next bad habit is providing solutions prematurely. This is when we jump in with our own opinions before our partner has a chance to fully explain themselves. I think I'm guilty of that one. Or find solutions. No, he says, he's getting brownies. This is when we say things like, if I were you, and of course we're always right. Both bad habits express a lack of respect, and respect is the flip side of love. It's hard to feel love when you don't feel respected. As a matter of fact, for true love to exist, it is essential that both people are equal. When one person is perceived as less than the other, true partnership isn't possible. Finally, when we're speaking, we want to remember that our overall goal is to honor each person we're speaking to as creative and resourceful sons and daughters of God. Our words have so much power to either uplift or tear down another person, so we want to be careful. Have you ever been hurt by other people's words? Have you ever hurt someone you care about with your words? So take a few minutes now to pair share with somebody different you haven't shared with yet about an experience when you felt hurt by someone's words, or when you hurt a loved one with your words. Okay. You are allowed to get up and talk to somebody different. So you are talking about experience when you felt hurt by someone's words, or you hurt somebody with someone by your words. All right, I have to get you back again. I'm sorry. I know it's not long enough, but usually this is a whole half-day seminar on this topic. All right, so thank you for having deep, genuine conversations. So we can see how potent our words can be. What we say and how we say it is actually something within our control. It's something within our control. So we need to pay attention to ourselves, be reflective, and notice if we are speaking with kindness or judgment. Are we conveying compassion or criticism? Are we communicating genuine empathy? And I'd like to show this amazing video clip. Hope it comes straight on.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, I'm down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, huh? No. You want a sandwich? It's a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. I have it, yeah. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. At least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
With self-reflection and honest effort, each of us can become better communicators, better listeners, more compassionate and empathetic people. And for those of us who are married or want to be married, it's clear that our personal skill set and spiritual fortitude affects the quality of our marriages. From this perspective, we have more control than we thought to create a beautiful marriage. Working on our marriage is sacred work because marriage itself is meant to be sacred. As a couple, we are entrusted with the heart and well-being of our partner. When we believe in our partner and their potential and convey that to them, it is a powerful gift of love. And of course, it has to be vice versa. It has to be both to make this work. The best thing we can do for our children is to love our spouse well. Our goal as parents is to model healthy relationships to our children. We don't need to be perfect, but we need our kids to see mutual respect and honor and see our effort and how we negotiate and repair our disagreements. Whether we are paying attention or not, our children are learning by watching how we treat each other. Let's pay attention to ourselves and the emotional climate of our most important relationships. Let's remember that investing in our marriage and family is important work. We are literally educating our next generation about love and kindness. When you think about it, in the process of strengthening our families, we are contributing substantially to building a safer and more peaceful world. WFWP strongly believes that a world of peace begins with God-centered marriages and families. We are proud to be an international movement designed to strengthen and uplift marriages through the Blessed Family movement. Peace truly begins with me, my marriage, and my family. As the late Reverend Dr. Sun Myung Moon said, marriage should be celebrated in the place where you can represent all of humanity in a higher realm and connect with God. So I actually have a handout for you. That's the end of my talk. This is actually part of the seminar, so it's a little bit of homework for you and your couple. And it's a questionnaire about your listening skills. And you can do it as a couple and then reflect and talk about these things. Thank you very much.